have a story time for y'all today. Let me tell you. I'm like, girl, yeah, if I said that, then duh, we both seen it. Her keys, she forgot her purse. Her purse was upstairs. She said, forget that purse.
I'm so hot, see the Lord. Big stick, shell catch, once more.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Jordan and welcome back, Cozy Fam. I have a story time for y'all today. Let me tell you. Basically, this is just a story time about my house being haunted. No, I know. Alright, so this was the summer of 2018. This was in July 2018, and I had a birthday. I'm not gonna tell y'all what it was. Y'all don't need all that detail. But just know my cousin that was there with me was a girl, and she was 11. She was a few years older than me, and we were at my house. She had came here, and we were at my house, and next thing I know, you know, she was here for a while because my birthday was in June. My birthday's in June, if you don't know, and she kind of was just like down there for the whole month of June and July. So she was there for like almost really the whole summer. Then she went back at the end of July because she had school the same week that she had went back. You know, it's really like the middle of July, like 2 weeks before, maybe three. No, actually it was like probably like it was the beginning of July, a few weeks before she had went back home. One night, me and her were, you know, kind of hungry, mind you. Hours prior to that, my mom said that she was gonna leave some Oreos and the rest of her Oreos and the rest of her milk downstairs in the kitchen. Me and her were like, we're just gonna wait to go down there because we're not even hungry right now. But we're gonna wait till later because we know we'd be up all night anyways. It begins to kind of be like 2 o'clock, and me and her were upstairs vibing, listening to music. You know, around that time we was listening to Queen Naija, we was listening to X, and me and her were watching YouTube and listening to music. My room was always set up, no matter how many times I switched my room around, the colors or whatever, I would always have the specific bed. It was like a loft bed, but it was not a loft bed. Like, the bottom was like just the floor, but there was a mattress on the floor under the, I don't know how to explain it. Me and her under the bottom, and the lights are on like under the bottom and stuff like that. And I have a canopy over my bed, like a net canopy over my bed, and it was pink. Mind you, my room wasn't too small. My room was actually a really pretty good sized room. Right across the room was a rug, a beanbag, my TV, some more lights, just a bunch of other stuff. And yeah, and then on the other side of my room was a bookshelf that I had attached to the wall, and you know, my toys or whatever, because you know, at that time I was a pretty good age where I was still kind of playing with toys, but I was still kind of not playing with toys. But there wouldn't be no extra toys. It would just be like American Girl dolls or Barbies, but that was it. That was the only toys I had. We're sitting on the rug, and you know, next thing I know, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Like, it's like 3:30 in the morning. And you know, she's like, okay, I'm hungry now, so let's go downstairs and find something to eat. And you know, I'm at the age where I can start cooking my own food. So we're going downstairs, and you know, we're in the kitchen. Mind you, the stairs was right by the front door. You had to turn, like, completely do a 360 and turn and go through the hallway, which was where the kitchen and everything else was. So next thing I know, me and her, we hear a noise while we're walking down the stairs. Now, mind you, our stairs were kind of creaky, but, you know, it was summertime, so we weren't worried about that. Like, my mom was saying, like, go to bed or nothing like that, because we were kids, and it was summertime. She knew we were up. Next thing I know, me and her hear a noise while we're going downstairs. We hear a noise downstairs, and I'm like, nah, like, nobody's up right now. Like, we didn't hear anything while we was in the room, so all we hear anything coming downstairs, because our house is pretty echoey. We just moved in. There's really no furniture downstairs for it, because we just moved in, like, a few months ago. And the only thing that's downstairs is the dining room table and the stuff that's in the kitchen. But there was no couch in the living room yet. Mind you, the dining room, the kitchen, and the living room were like almost all in the same vicinity. But the house is so huge that, like, of course, like, it was pretty far away from each other. Like, you could, like, it was really far away from each other, but you know, it was all like almost in the same room. I'm like, you hear that? She's like, yeah. but nobody's up. I'm like, yeah, I know nobody's up. So what is that noise? We had a living room, an arcade room, two living rooms, arcade room, the kitchen, and the dining room, and they were all downstairs together. Next thing I know, we're going downstairs. We peek in the kitchen, going through the arcade room, but nobody can tell that you're right there. If we don't see nobody, don't hear that. We don't hear whatever we heard no more. Suddenly, the sound just completely disappeared. Like we don't hear anything no more. So, of course, I'm like, okay, we just heard something come down the stairs. I know I'm a kid, but I'm not stupid. I said, I know we just heard a noise, but I don't see nothing, and now I don't hear anything no more. So we picked up the kitchen, the noise stopped. So we just walk in the kitchen. We're like, probably just our imagination. Even though we both heard it, we're like, it's probably just our imagination and stuff like that. We're in the kitchen and we're about to get our snacks. So it was multiple snacks in the kitchen because my mom, she always stocks up on snacks, multiple snacks. She's been doing it for years. I'm grabbing the Oreos. She grabbing the milk. And as she's grabbing the Oreos and I'm grabbing the milk, I'm pouring the milk into a cup. I'm pouring some milk into a cup because it wasn't just like the rest of the milk was ours. It was just a little bit, and I just poured some into the cup. And I'm grabbing a cup, and she grabbing the Oreos. Next thing you know, we hear something else. And maybe about 30 seconds later, we're both turning and stuff like that. We're putting stuff back in the cabinet. And as we both turn again, where the living room is, there's a little corner, behind there. And all we see is a head poking from behind there. Excuse me? All I know is I look at her, she look at me. It was like that one Spider-Man meme where everybody was pointing at each other. Bro, I'm looking at her, she's looking at me. At my kidly age, at my children-like age, and at her almost preteen age, we're looking at each other. She's looking at me, I'm looking at her. Mind you, we both seen it, so we're not tripping. I have it in my head. I remember exactly what it looked like. Bro, all I know is as we're looking at each other, I said, "Did you see that?" Like my heart was jumping out of my chest. And my eyes are like, oh my God. And I feel like I was finna cry, bro. All I know is I'm looking at her, I'm like, "Did you see that?" She like, "Yeah, I seen it. Did you see that?" I'm like, "Girl, yeah, if I said that, then duh, we both seen it." I'm looking at her, she's looking at me. We take our stuff and we sprint down the hallway and up them stairs screaming and crying. Now, mind you, a few months after this, I'm in school now, so this is school time. My mom tells me, she told me one day she was about to come and get me from the bus stop or something like that. She was about to get her keys and get in the car and come and get me from the bus stop. Mind you, the bus stop, she could have walked to it. Like, it was literally a 5-minute walk to get to the bus stop because it was in my neighborhood. Mind you, my house is like kind of close to like the front of the neighborhood. Not close, but like, I don't know how to explain it, but as soon as you turn, and you turn again, and you turn again, and then there's my house. She said she's about to get her keys to come and get me, and she heard something upstairs. Of course, nobody's gonna ignore that. She's looking up there, she's trying to make sure nobody's up there, and apparently she's seen a woman walk past the stairs. She said she grabbed her keys, she forgot her purse. Her purse was upstairs. She said, "Forget that purse." She had her phone, she had her keys, and she left the house. This has happened multiple times where we would hear walking. I remember I used to be home alone, and I would hear people walking up the stairs, down the stairs, through the hallway, and that wasn't the house settling. I know when somebody's walking because when my mom's walking, that's exactly what it sounds like when I'm home alone, and I can hear somebody walking. Now, that's why when I used to be home alone, I would turn the TV on or something like that and just like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the TV on. I'm going to just ignore it, like, any noises that I hear because, it's probably just the house settling or something like that. But no, my house was haunted. I know it was because it was a really old house. It wasn't a newly built house. So I wasn't even like, okay, it's a new house. Like, there's no way it's not like it was haunted. My house was haunted. So I was like, I'm not even finna stress it. I'm gonna just turn on my TV, turn on TV, and I was like, I'm just gonna do my homework, eat my food. She gonna be home in like the next 30 minutes to an hour. It's okay. Yeah, bro. That night was the night that my heart literally fell out of me. Oh my goodness. Will I ever move into a place knowing that it's haunted again? No, I will not. But that time I did not have a choice because I was not paying rent. That was the story time of the night that I found out that my house was technically haunted. Yes, if y'all enjoyed this video, like, subscribe. Let me know what other videos I'm gonna do. Yes, let me know what else you want to see. On the channel, on Instagram. I'll post in there to, you know, for y'all to tell me what y'all want to see or whatever like that. Yes, I will see y'all next Wednesday. Bye, Cozy fam.